8, 7, 6, 5.
Tried to hold us back, to hold us, tried to hold us back.
We will be here forever. Do you understand?
Hey, it's Shan here. This week I catch up with skateboarder and popular YouTuber. It's Mr. Leon Paxton. Leon is an interesting cat. I mean, he does these epic reviews on all of the new skate parks that are being built around Sydney and other parts of Australia. And he does it in a way that's so authentic and so thorough. It's built a really large audience for him really quickly. So Leon goes into the reasons why he felt compelled to do it and just what's actually happening for him in his life now that he is a little bit more recognized through his YouTube. Leon is a big man and he skates like really good, and I just love watching him skate, like with his big frame, gets on rails, does his flip tricks. And I think that's a real big part of the success of his YouTube videos, because he can actually skate and skate well. And one of his key things that he does in his videos is like skate every obstacle, and as hard as that can be sometimes. But he takes us on a journey through his life so far, where he grew up, how he got into skateboarding, and how he made a decision to create a lifestyle by his own design and not get stuck working in a job that he really didn't like or wasn't really made for. So I love that aspect of it. This week we record in the art studio of Steve Tierney and Nick Collison, for those of you that are Sydney skaters. And Steve sits in as this week's guest co-host, and, he jumps in, adds his 2 cents, and brings that 90s steez to what is a younger skateboarder. So I really, again, I sort of see Leon as like, he's part of the shift in the culture, shift in pop culture and media, and the way people are, I guess, gaining exposure and coverage, except he's doing it right. So enjoy getting to know Mr. Leon Paxton, everyone. Cheers.
Child of the light, styles of the neon belong to a culture destined to rock for eons. Time doesn't exist. Shut those cataracts, capture the virtualist. Now, let's get back to what makes things seem forever, whether it's unseen, unheard, or it's 16 again. Not a bother, fill this old man river, kill a floor that gives all.
Hey, the other day you said to me, hey, in my podcast, I don't want to really swear and stuff, and you're cognizant of that. How come?
The young audience I have is the only reason why.
How do you know they're young?
I've get so many people coming up to me at skate parks, and then even parents too.
Yeah.
Like heaps. I went to Glebe the other day, and these kids were like 8 to 12 maximum. They're like, oh my God, Leon Paxton. No way. Are you actually here? I can't believe you just came here. Like, yeah, of course. I just come to skate. Like, no way. Like shaking my hand, like bumping me up. It was crazy. They were going off like, oh my God, can I get a photo? Can I get a photo?
How often does that happen? Like regularly?
Super regularly.
More regularly than ever?
Probably, I don't want to say every time, but almost every time I go anywhere. I don't want to sound like, oh yeah, I got these guys everywhere, but like,
super interesting.
Yeah.
Because I'm here with Steve Tierney, and such a juxtaposition to how we had to fight for exposure.
Yes.
In the day.
I'm probably very lucky in that sense.
Lucky?
Well, just because of the shift of the skate, what the world is like now.
But you created this situation for yourself.
I did. So I can't get, like, sometimes I'm super focused trying to film something, or I need to talk. Like I have my little script out of like I need this shoe review about this, and or I need to talk about how this board does this. And then these kids are like, yo, Leon, oh my God. And like, they want to stand there and talk to me for ages, which I give them that time, because I can make these videos, but if these guys aren't watching it, then like, what am I doing it for? I can do all this work, but if no one's receiving it and enjoying what I'm doing, these videos wouldn't go anywhere.
Right.
So like, I give every single person like the time that as much as they want, but then I'm like, damn, where was I? I got to warm up again. Like, I got to try and do this trick again. I forgot my train of thought of what I was going to say about this product, but I'll always take that time, because these guys are the ones watching my videos.
How sustainable is that though?
That's why I go to the skate park at 8 to 10 a.m. to film a video because I know like if I go on a weekend, no deal. If I go in the afternoon, no deal. Plus, just because I don't want to be an asshole putting my camera in front of everyone, like my tripod's in the middle of the skate park trying to get a good angle of this trick. So I'm conscious of that a lot.
That's nice. You have a distinct lack of arrogance. Where do you think that comes from?
Do you reckon?
Yeah, you're super humble.
Am I? Yeah, I guess so.
Even that response is humble.
I don't know. I don't try to be. I just try and be respectful of everyone.
But where that's not natural for everyone. That must have been taught to you in some way.
It probably stemmed from like skate park awareness. So like I don't want to be in front of like everyone has the right to be there. Even little kids that have their little tricycle scooters that are super dangerous at a skate park, they have the right to be there too. So I can't get annoyed if they snake me because they don't know any better. They belong there just as much as I do.
Yeah.
So I try and be like mindful of the space.
Like, do you feel someone that's in skate parks a lot and it's part of your love, but also part of, a project you're working on? Do you feel like skate park etiquette is completely lost in this day and age?
I don't think there is any in this day and age. When's the last time you went to a skate park? Every single time I go to the skate park, I see something wrong. Like a mum sitting on the ledge.
Yeah.
It's not to talk bad about, like, how do I say this the most polite way? So these kids have every right to be there as much as we do. And I don't blame the kids, but it's the parents that are sitting at the table on their laptop doing work, or they're on their phone, or they're on a phone call, not paying attention to their kids. They treat it like a playground. So let's go take our little kids to the skate park and drop them off. We're just going to sit on the side, work on some emails or whatever, not even like look at what their kid's doing. And they're zigzagging all over the park on their little tricycle.
Yeah.
It's so dangerous. You've seen it.
I'm always stoked when I see a parent, like I was at Glebe recently and a dad was there with his little daughter and he couldn't skate. I don't reckon he was really a skater, but she was out there she was actually on a skateboard and she was trying to skate. And she got in front of me. He could tell I was doing a line because I was coming back and forth. And he was like, no, whatever her name was, just wait for this guy to go first and then you go after him. And I was like, dude.
Legend.
Cool. And we had a conversation after that and I was like, yeah, that's right. He got it. But I was also like, yeah, right. Look good on her. She's ruling. She's like 7 or something.
Like you said, people, they think it's a playground.
Yeah, I'll get into a story in a second. That's pretty funny. But the parents, actually, I'll just get into it now. The parents look at it as a playground. So not me personally, but people I've been with and like younger kids in the crew have had direct, like almost fights with parents because this one incident, the most recent one, we were at that new park we were just talking about, the Olds Park, and this young guy, he wasn't with us, he was like 16 maybe, he was trying to do, have you been there?
Penshurst?
Yeah, Penshurst, the Olds Park.
The new one.
Not to the new one. Haven't been to the new park yet.
So it's like there's an A-frame bank to bank that leads into another like bank to bank gap. So you can like do a flip trick over the first bank to bank and then the next one. So this kid was trying to do that. And every time these two little kids on their scooters would get in the way of either the first one or the second one. And he was trying this line for hours. And he's like, yo, can you move to the first, like this first kid on the first A-frame? And the dad sitting on the side was like, hey, don't tell my kid to get out of the way. Don't tell him to move. And I heard him yelling across the skate park. And he's like, he's in the way. He's been standing there for so long. And he's like, don't tell my kid to move. You're at a kid's playground and you're telling them what to do. You don't even belong here. And I was like, what is this guy on about? So I went over there to try and like this guy was, but I didn't meet this kid before, but he was like kind of overstepping a little bit, getting up in the dad's face and everything. But what the dad was saying was completely wrong as well. I was like, yo, what do you mean? Like, it's an open field. Like, we can all be here. They belong here. We belong here. It's not a playground at all. Where are the slides? Like, where are the swings? Exactly.
And I see it as a real clash of cultures.
Yeah.
And I feel that older skaters such as us and yourself, like you're not young, but you're not old either. You're kind of in your prime, in my opinion.
I hope so.
Almost have a responsibility to pass on the culture and the law. Not LAW, like LORE.
Yeah.
And I think it's going to come through conflict for sure, because it's dangerous. And as a parent myself, parents see playgrounds as a place of respite from parenting, where they can set and forget.
Right. They just drop them off and that's it.
Yeah, because like they're exhausted most of the time, but then they don't understand that skate parks are so dangerous.
It is.
Yeah.
And that no one's
It's like
reading
a highway.
Exactly. No one's reading the signs either about the risk and whatever. But we're just in such a transition period with all the onset of these amazing new skate parks.
Yeah.
So I'm sort of leading into something here with what you're doing with your reviews of all these amazing new skate parks. Do you ever see yourself as a custodian of the culture and someone who has a deep responsibility to pass on the culture?
That's a very good question.
And too deep?
No, that's a good one. I feel like at this point I have a certain responsibility now, because I have so many viewers and people recognize me a lot, and people come to my channel with I don't know how to, like, there must be a word for it, but they trust and believe in what I'm saying.
Like an authority.
So authority, yes. So I have a certain responsibility in a way for how I portray my videos, how I portray myself, what I say in my videos. So that's why when I do a skate park review, I highlight the positives and the negatives of it. I don't want to say, I like this skate park, but if I don't like it, I don't want to say, it sucks, don't come here. I say, all right, this is good about it, this is bad about it. This is what I like, this is what I don't like. So I try and have a balanced opinion. I tell my opinion, but a balanced perspective of each place I go to. Because I don't want to be like going to your local park or your local park and just saying, this sucks, don't come here, no one should come here. So I've been a lot more conscious of having a certain responsibility with what I say. And that's why, coming back to the first thing you just said, I try not to swear in my videos, or I just try and be mature enough to get my message across, but like not influence anyone the wrong way. That makes sense?
Yeah, it does. And that's
like a certain responsibility I try and stick to, like certain guidelines.
I mean, you're independent media. So, and I love how honest your reviews are. Like, and they're just very factual. It's like, this park doesn't have this.
Yeah.
Or you'll be like, this park cost this many $1 million and they haven't even considered this.
No parking at this one. They don't even have a water bubbler.
It's like, and like some of them, you're like, I don't know how they justified spending $14 million, or I don't know if that's a correct figure, but just. So, have you had any backlash from park builders or designers?
Not really. Not yet. I'm sure there's people out there that don't agree with what I'm saying, but that's why I try and make it clear that this is my opinion of the skate park. I'm not saying that this builder made a bad skate park, so don't go there. I'm just saying this is what I like, this is what I don't like. There is one skate park I made quite a negative video about. Not negative, but I just said how bad it was, how poorly it was designed for the amount of money they spent. My angle on it was, for the amount of money they spent on that park, they could have done a lot better. And I'm kind of, disappointed that they didn't put that money into better use and make a better skate park. But there's people that I've met from skate park building companies that have said, we loved that video. Like, we thought everything you said was true. It was so funny when you said that about that skate park. And it is bad. Like, they wasted their money. They shouldn't have done it that way.
Right.
So I haven't had backlash. If anything, I've had like positive kind of feedback.
That's cool.
Yeah, like they're keeping them accountable.
Yeah, but that's probably my most ruthless video. And even
Tell us the park.
What's it called? Like art.
I thought it was that one. It was built next to like a wedding center or a wedding.
Yes, that's the one.
And they were complaining about the noise,
Yeah.
and they're trying to have weddings there.
So the angle on the video was, it was a super good, like, it was a positive. They were fighting for years to get this skate park built, and they got it built, and then this was amazing reveal, and then the skate park sucked. So it was like, it was like a win and a lose at the same time.
And it had the gnarliest rainbow rail.
Yes, that's the one. Yeah, and this massive like vert wall that, I don't know. It's probably, I shouldn't say some of the things I say, because in my perspective, I'm not going to skate that rail. I'm not going to skate that vert wall. But there's people out there that have. They've gone to that park and done that stuff. So in a way, I need to I can't just discredit and just say, nah, that sucks. You can't skate that, because people can skate it. But the majority of skateboarders can't touch that stuff.
I don't know. If you couldn't touch that rail, though, not many people could.
I probably could have, but it just wasn't worth like it's square. First of all, it's wide as, and it was wild.
Yeah.
I wasn't going to do anything on it.
So I want to go back a little bit, and just to clarify for those that aren't aware, and people who are listening may have picked up on the fact that Leon is a skateboarder who reviews and has been reviewing skate parks recently, which is only a small part of your skateboarding journey, really. Can you just tell us how that journey began with the skate park reviews and the vlogging, I guess?
Yeah, that's a good story because I never planned. I never thought this was anything. I didn't know YouTube skating was ever a thing. I'm gonna have to give a shout out to my man Shan. He pretty much paved the way for what I'm doing. I went to school with him. He was a year older than me. He was in the same crew in my area, so obviously I looked up to him a lot because he was the year above me. He was the cool skater guy, him and his crew. And the last few years, you talked to him recently, the last few years he was here in Australia, I was skating with him a lot and I was picking up what he was doing and I was like, damn, you go to the skate parks, you're filming yourself talk about stuff what's that about? I was like, what are you doing? This is weird. This is kind of weird, but it's kind of cool. And I his tail end of him being in Australia is when I started doing mine. So I learned a lot from him and I've seen a lot of what he was doing and tried to do my own version of what he was doing without biting his own stuff, what he was doing. But he would give me tips on how to do stuff and how to structure your videos and stuff. So he gave me a lot of help.
Right.
But before that, this is where that's when I decided to do YouTube videos regularly. So when I fully made the decision of all right, I'm going to create a video and upload one video a week. This was 2020 or 2021. I still don't get it was in lockdown time. I don't remember which one. We had 2 lockdowns in Sydney. One was 2020, one was 21. I really don't remember. I want to say it was 2020. It was 2020. So
Okay.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to track.
That's good.
Back. So I remember it was 2020 because I had some injuries that year and I had to put a hold on my YouTube videos. But 2020 came through. As we all know, COVID hit. Skate parks were shut. Sean was building a DIY spot near the skate park because you weren't legally allowed to go to a skate park because people can't hang out and spread their germs and stuff.
How ridiculous does that sound? Keep going.
Even though contradictory to that rule, you could go outside and exercise because COVID isn't outside for some reason.
Yeah.
But we won't get into that. But so 2020, I made the decision I'm going to make consistent YouTube videos, and I was feeding off Sean and skating with him a lot. But I had no structure of that, what my channel was going to be, what I was going to do. I basically was doing product reviews because when lockdown happened, we were getting the government payments and stuff. So I had all this money. Everything was shut. There was nothing to do. So I was just buying online every day, buying new skateboards, buying new shoes. And I was
the skate industry boomed, man.
I was just doing heaps of product reviews basically because I couldn't do skate park reviews, which was my initial plan, which I need to get back to. That was the question. Skate park reviews. This is a good story because this is why I not started YouTube but started making skate videos because I used to look at when a new skate park would pop up, I'd be looking at online trying to find clips or photos of these new skate parks because I like to plan what I want to do when I get somewhere. So I want to see the size of this rail or how the park flows or whatever. And no one was doing that, and there was not enough photos out there of these new parks either. So I was like, damn, I just had this light bulb in my head one day. I was like, why don't I go and do that and be the guy that I wish was already doing this stuff? Maybe worst case scenario, I'll get to travel to more skate parks and skate them. And in the better case of that scenario, people can see these skate parks as well. And that was the first ever skate YouTube video I made was St. Helens Park in Campbelltown. That was my local park at the time. I was like, I'll use my first one as a practice. And then people were like, damn, this is sick. you like reviewed it really well. You showed everything there. You should do Oran Park Skate Park. That's opening up soon. You should go and do that there. I was like, I will go and do that. And then but I was like, what if convict skate parks can like pay me to go and open their parks or like review their skate parks?
Yeah.
This is like a real career opportunity that could happen, which is funny to think. I was thinking this all the way back then.
No way.
I didn't know it was possible, but I was like, this could be so cool if I could like go do skate park reviews for a job. That's how I started the skate style YouTube videos.
Gotcha.
From that. So that was my first ever.
They're so legit because you can skate so good. And I know every time I say that, you go, oh, no, I don't. But like you do skate well. And,
Thank you.
And I just love that every skate review, you make it your mission to try to skate every single obstacle in the park. Now, that's not always easy.
No.
Like, you know, you got slappy curbs and mani pads, but then when it starts to get to some of those big
When it gets
rails
to the
and ledges,
transition
I'm
though
like,
as well.
I'm like, no, Leon, don't. And it's really, I think, and it really brings that authenticity to it. So I don't think anyone could do it as well as you do it.
Thank you.
Going in line with, like, you mentioned, say, convict skate park builders.
Yeah.
You said that you maybe aspire to be a skate park consultant.
Yeah, I thought that would be cool back then.
What do
I
you
was
think? Is it something that's still in the possibilities?
If it's possible on their end, I'm down for it. I even hit up Convict once as well, actually, because they reposted one of my videos. I can't remember which one. It was maybe beginning of last year, so whatever park opened up then.
Yeah.
It was, I don't exactly remember, but they reposted like a bit of a clip of my skate park review or something, I'm pretty sure. And I was like, oh my God, thank you so much. Like Convict Skate Park has just reposted my video on Instagram. Like I messaged back straight away. I was like, oh, this is so cool. Thank you so much. And whoever it was that runs the account was like, yeah, of course. Like, no worries. We always watch your skate park reviews in the head office. Like,
No way.
all of us are watching it.
That's all right.
Yeah, I was like, what? I never would have thought that. Obviously, like these guys are building it. They would want to see what people are saying about their product, I guess. That's what they do. They build skate parks. But I just, when I read that, I was like, oh my God, these guys are watching my videos. That just shows, I don't know who's watching. Like, could be anyone. Any video I could do could lead to some opportunity, or I could say the wrong thing, which could also be like someone could see that and think, oh, all right, this guy sucks, because like I need to be cautious of what I'm saying, is what I was saying about the Leichhardt video. Like I can't just disregard certain places because I don't like them. But I even hit up Convict and I was like, yo, any video positions for like reviewing your skate parks? Because they put up a story saying, we've got positions for skate park builders. And I replied, I was like, any opportunities for a guy to get sent out to review your new skate parks? And whoever that runs the account was like, oh, that's definitely a possibility. Like, and kind of said that.
What do you think you could bring to them? Like dimensions,
Honestly,
spacing, spatial awareness? Because I think that's one of the fundamental things is the spacing out of obstacles. I feel like they get that wrong so often.
I feel like
Not to say convict, but in skate park design.
Sometimes it's not them designing. It's like they have to work with the space they have and the budget they have, obviously. But I really don't know. What I would have said that I could have brought to them is those videos, like reviewing their parks and stuff. And then I talked to my girlfriend about this and she was like, yeah, that's cool. But why would they think about why they would pay you to do that if you're already doing that for them for free?
Yeah, totally.
I was like, damn, that's so true. I'm going out to these new parks.
Yeah.
They haven't even given me any information or anything at all. I'm like doing all my research. I'm talking highly of not just talking for no reason, like Convict make good skate parks.
So are they in your opinion, are they the best out of all the ones?
They're the number one.
You really feel that? So when you comparatively,
I don't just feel it.
It's like a common theme.
Yeah.
Okay.
So Convict is like concrete skate parks, base plate design's good as well. But I think Convict like sits at the top of all these companies. I think they're the biggest. They've been around the longest. They have the most like amount of money. So they can charge a lot for their bigger projects. If you look at all the bigger skate parks that have been built, it's by Convict because like they can just handle those bigger projects.
Okay.
From what I've seen anyway. I don't know the numbers and everything. But yeah, if I'm already doing it, why would they pay me to go and do this?
Yeah.
I didn't look at it that way.
Steve, like in the 90s, you know how like the main form of skate media was like magazines.
Yeah.
And in Australia it was Slam. You know, like how do you personally feel about, you know, this new form of skate media and the things that are branching off it?
I mean, I'm all for it. I mean, I'm just for change and the difference of, you know, our period to this period.
But as an older skater, you're not resistant to this kind of media?
No, not at all. Like, I'm cool with it. I find it super interesting. I find, back to the kind of question you put to him about, like, you've put yourself in this position and now, and, you know, you've put yourself out there for people to kind of like, you're at skate parks and now people recognize you. But that's kind of, like, it's not that much different. Obviously, he's getting way more attention than we would ever get because it was like, we would be at a skate park and kids wouldn't never really recognize us. But when they did, it was awesome. And when you were doing like whatever signings and stuff, you had the same attitude. Most skaters would have
like respectful.
Yeah, respect. Like I remember signing boards and being like, "Holy shit, we're actually signing boards! How trippy is this?" Like, but of course, it's on a different level now because for him to say that, to be going to skate parks and kids to recognize him, I don't remember that ever really fully happening. And what's funny is like even back in the day, I reckon kids did, even when we did demos and stuff, like kids did, I don't reckon they even really knew who we were. They were just like, oh, hey, they're the pros, like come and sign the shit. But they didn't have any fucking clip because they didn't have direct access. Like his name's on the YouTube clip. They're watching it every week or whatever. We're just skaters who had a photo in Slam every fucking 5 months or whatever. Yeah. And all they knew was like, oh, these are the guys. And half of them wouldn't have known our names, I'm sure of it.
It's so interesting, like so accessible now. Like you're so accessible, like whether it's in real life and you're making yourself accessible, like you said, giving people time. But I mean, how do you go responding to comments and DMs and stuff like that?
I do it just as much.
You do?
As in person, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So I fully like schedule in times where I'm going to like log on and go through all my YouTube comments, and I have it filtered by like recent to oldest.
Okay.
And I'll start at the bottom and I'll work through like the oldest comments leading to the newest ones. And then on my Instagram too. So that's what I was saying. I might be a little hard to get a hold of on Instagram because I'm not on there a lot. And I have my phone on Do Not Disturb a lot too. Because if I'm filming a YouTube video, editing a YouTube video, street skating or something, like I want to put my energy into that fully. So like right now my phone's on Do Not Disturb because I'm here doing this. I want my attention to be here. My phone's not going to be going off. I'm not going to be distracted.
Man, that's so funny.
You just won our hearts, Leon.
Back to like our day, like the opposite. Right here, I'll show you after this. We remember in Mags when we'd have our ad and it said at the bottom, send in PO box, send in a letter to get free stickers.
Yeah, or
so our way of like DMing was that. Then I've got letters.
True.
I've got letters here I've kept since then that were sent to CLS from kids who would write in like on a piece of paper, sketchy little handwriting. Hey, we love CLS. Michael David's my favorite skater. Send me a sticker.
And they'd send a
self-addressed envelope. You'd put stickers in and send it out to them. That was our DMing. Like that was the only way to contact them.
Sick.
Dude, I've got heaps of. I'll show you after.
I reckon there's still like you could still do that. You know, bring that magic back.
Bring it back would be funny.
Yeah, because getting something in the mail is still the raddest thing.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, especially getting packages and stuff. It's the best feeling.
It's like Christmas every time, bro.
Yeah.
Do you get packages off anyone?
I've got a few. They're not like random though. Like people will be hitting me up sometimes. But most of the time I'll get it sent to like the shop I work for like certain promo stuff.
Okay.
But it's more of a byproduct of like the YouTube stuff I'm doing.
Okay.
Which is funny. Like I'll go back to a store, not a story, but like how I got into YouTube, or even I should probably set some context to what I've been doing the last few years. Out of school, I fell into like a trade, like an apprenticeship, as most of us do. Most people do. Did that for 6 years, and I absolutely hated it. So apprenticeship,
what was it?
Vehicle bodybuilder. So I was like heaps of welding truck bodies. Like the company was truck bodies, so I got like all these burns and stuff all over me because I was like a heavy welder. Like chopping up steel, welding it together. Completely opposite to what I'm doing now.
Because this is what you dreamed of as a little kid.
Yeah, I want to build some trucks. Yeah, so finished high school and just fell into that job, not knowing where I was going in life. But hated it. Finished my 4-year apprenticeship. After 4 years of working there, it was super comfortable. I've been doing that for 4 years, so I knew how long it took to get to work. I knew exactly what to do every day. I knew everyone that worked there. I knew how to get home in like 20 minutes. So I didn't like that job at all. There was no future in it for me. So I was like, I'd talk to my girlfriend all the time about how I could, get a job, because you need to work for the rest of your life in some form. So I was like, how can I get a job that I can do forever and enjoy? And then my girlfriend's like, well, what can you see yourself doing forever? And I was like, at the time I was like big into the gym. So I was like, I like going to the gym and training, and I like skateboarding. I've loved skateboarding since I was 12. And I was like, I'm not good enough to make a skateboarding career. Maybe I can go be a personal trainer. That's how I got into personal training. If you didn't know that, I was a personal trainer for the last 5 years. Since, I don't know my years. 2010, I finished school. 6 years I did that apprenticeship, that trade. So from 2016, pretty much up until 2020, 2021, I was the personal trainer until the gyms shut in 2020.
COVID,
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. So at the time, I had my client base that was pretty loyal. And so the gym I was working at was like, I was contracted there. So I'd pay them rent and I'd work under their gym pretty much. So my clients were they were the gym members, but they were my clients that were paying me for sessions. So COVID happened, gym shut. I took them all outside and I was training them outside at parks and stuff. And then the rules changed again. So you couldn't train. I had a lot of couples or sisters or like a mum and a daughter. Like I had couple sessions a lot, and I could only. You were legally only be allowed outside with one person, no more than two people. So I was like, damn, they're making it hard for me. How do I keep doing this? So I eventually bought all this stuff and had a gym set up at my house. So they would come to my house. So it was like a loophole. So I was working because I was like an essential worker at the time. And then they were allowed to travel and do essential exercise. So it was kind of the loophole of the lockdowns. But then, 2020, I tore my hamstring. I broke my finger. So they were like within weeks of each other. So I broke my finger. I couldn't train anymore because I couldn't use my hand. Tore my hamstring. I couldn't skate anymore, and I couldn't train my legs because like I was all busted up. So 2020, I slowly declined in my own physical training. And that was like the catalyst, I guess, of me like slowly losing my love for the gym. Because I couldn't do anything.
So you did love it.
Oh, yeah, of course.
Great. That's cool.
But like my client base was based around trying to like get them to be healthier, moving more, losing body fat as well, and just be like more healthy, functional people. Yeah. So like I didn't care about teaching guys how to get stronger and muscly and all that. It was like changing people's lives, which was really good.
Yes, bro.
So that is how, I think we talked about this the other day. I used to make like exercise type of tutorials. Because you were like, oh, you can present so well on camera.
You do.
But it was not always like that. It's so funny to think back to my first like training type of videos. I was like, I would film myself in the gym, tripod, like long lens zoomed in because I didn't want people to see I was filming myself. And then I'd like take that footage, I'd go home and I'd like do a sneaky voiceover in my house. And like, oh, so you do this and you pull your elbows in this way. Like, because there's no way I was pulling out my camera and filming inside of the gym. It was so awkward. But from now, I can just like, cameras out, I can talk, I can present well, I've got my notes and stuff. And like, it's just, I've come so far from that.
Yeah.
But that's how I made the transition from, so what am I going to do for a job? I like training, I like skating, I can't train anymore. I didn't want to because I just slowly got out of that. And then that's when me and Sean were skating together a lot. And he's like, I won't say, but he's like, I made this much money this month from YouTube. Like, what do you mean from YouTube? It's like, I made it from my ad revenue.
Just what we're talking about, Sean, like he's huge on YouTube in America.
Yeah.
Like he's got like 30 or 40,000 subscribers or something.
He's up there, yeah.
But it's like, which is really now that I've got a bit of had a taste of it, that's really hard to achieve on YouTube.
Is.
Like YouTube is a hard algorithm.
It is, but once you get those people, they're pretty loyal because
Are they?
YouTube, no one's going to YouTube to like doom scroll and get that dopamine hit from like all the slides that are coming through. Yeah. TikTok, people are like this, Instagram, like people go to, like you guys probably are the same. You'll go to YouTube knowing that you're about to invest like 3 to 10 minutes at least. Like
It's my new TV, baby.
Yeah, so a lot of people use YouTube as like, they don't sit down and watch shows. They watch like their favorite, whatever, influencer or like favorite series on YouTube or something. So it's more of a loyal kind of fan base if you build your followers on YouTube, from what I've seen.
But you've obviously researched how to present your videos in a way that increases and maintains engagement.
Yeah, so
Like, what are the techniques? Tell everyone, those that probably already know, but tell us again. Like, I know you do some things.
So-
what are the things?
My general video structure, whether it's like a skate park review or product review or something.
Actually, do you want to share these secrets?
Oh, they're not really secrets. Like,
Okay.
or are they? Should I see? Nah. I'm happy to, like, if people want to hear this and this is going to help them. Because I just think
I'm so intrigued by it. Like I said, this is such a shift in the culture.
Yeah.
I just like, let's talk about it.
I'm happy to share because I had no one sharing besides Shan.
Yeah.
But like I would search on YouTube how to create skate YouTube videos. Like I didn't know.
Is there tutorials for that?
No. But I didn't know, besides watching people that were already doing it, I didn't know how to do it. Like I didn't know how to structure the video. I didn't know what to talk about. I didn't know how to. I was one of those when I say this, skate YouTuber, I'm the person you picture. I was that person when they're like, oh, you're a skate YouTuber. I was that guy. I was like, yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to my channel. I'm going to be doing this today, and then we're going to go and do this, and I'm hanging out with this guy. And I looked back, I've unlisted and taken so many of my videos down because like, what are you doing? Why are you talking like that? That's so awkward. It's so cringy. So like, but there was no structure. There was no path to follow. I didn't know what the hell I was doing. I had to figure out everything myself.
Yeah.
So like, I'm happy to share everything I've learned so other people don't have to do the, yo, what's up, guys? Those cringy ass intros that you know and you've seen.
Yeah.
But I didn't know like that was the YouTube. That was what skaters were doing on YouTube. So, you must have to do that.
How do you feel about the title of YouTuber?
It was, for a while I didn't like it because of that, like that, those people and like, oh, you're a YouTuber. So you're like, oh man, it's like a demeaning type of term. Like you're one of those cringy guys that walks around filming themselves, like, and you're up yourself and like you're over the top energy type of thing. But then it took me a while to grow into that title.
Okay.
And I can accept it and be comfortable with it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Because I'm not like that. Like I try and just, people come to me when they meet me in real life, like, damn, you're just like your videos. Like, you're exactly the same. I feel like I know you already. Like, yeah, because I'm being 100% myself through the camera.
But do you only talk in like 2-second lots before you talk again?
I do.
You know how, I'm trying to be funny here because like I'm trying to be funny, didn't I? Because you know how like I just find YouTube videos and vloggers especially, it's like cut every 2 seconds.
Yes, and
like what's the psychology behind that?
that's just the audience retention to keep people like engaged. So if you put your camera and I answer this whole question right now with all of my breaks and all of my pauses and it's just this one angle, people are so much more likely to lose attention. But if like I pause or I take a breath and you snip that out
So
and
you
it keeps
snip
it
all that
flowing.
out?
No, like I try. If you do, I'm saying, if you cut out all the breaks and all of the, like you just keep the ums and the ahs and you cut all of that out and keep it like really fluid and flow quick, it's it'll keep people's attention really fast. So that's why people do the quick cuts like that. I don't do them.
Because they don't have an opportunity to lose concentration.
Yeah, because they're like, bam, bam, bam. That's why TikTok's like so in your face and it's like they're trying to get your attention and keep you like hooked on that phone so quick.
Cut.
Not just TikTok, like people do it on Instagram as well.
I know podcasters do it with the audio. They cut out any like mouth sounds like heavy breathing or ums and ahs. But I've decided, I just said then, but I've decided not to do it. For me, it's not authentic.
Exactly, yeah. I do it a bit if I'm like, if there's a point I'm trying to get across and I've found myself just waffling on about it and like not being able to get my words out properly. Or even then, like I'll have the camera still going and I'll just be like, oh shit, I messed that up. I'll start again. And I'll just like redo that whole sentence.
Yeah, okay.
But then I'll have to cut the pause and the sentence I don't want to use. So when I'm editing, like there are cuts, but it's not like I'm not trying to fake out some of the stuff that I've said. That makes sense?
Yeah, it makes sense.
Yeah. But people do that because they want to keep you just hooked on and like like super attention grabbing.
There must be a formula with like stuff for kids on YouTube because obviously we've got kids, right? And like I watch my kids
it like
watching
that?
YouTube stuff. Oh, it's all like
Boom, boom, boom.
super quick. Yeah, super quick cuts.
It's crazy.
And it's like must be just that little bit of brain attention grabbing like thing.
I heard it's like
trip out on some of that stuff and like fuck.
I heard it's like poker machine.
Yeah, it must be the same.
Yeah, same thing.
Like
the big
stimulate,
flashy lights.
stimulate.
That's scrolling, if you think about it.
Yeah.
Like the screens are scrolling down on a poker machine.
Yeah, and kids can't regulate as well.
Yeah, exactly.
They don't know when to stop. And like, I don't know, if you see some of those kid YouTube
kid ones are
channels
horrific.
and like you look at their view count.
Yeah.
It's like one day, 20 million
Yeah, I know.
views.
Damn.
I'm like, what? And it's rubbish.
Yeah.
It's just like
No,
some
they do,
dude
like,
with a GoPro
rocks
walking around his
and
house
shit.
like, today I'm going to pull a prank on my sister. And it's like, kids love it.
What?
But that's the
Haven't you
difference.
seen
Like,
that?
like
No.
you're talking. Oh man! But that's the difference when you see as a parent, but also you're also talking yourself. You've obviously got like an idea of what's good and what's crap. But then, so now as parents, we've probably seen this stuff where I see this crap come through, and I've blocking
Yeah.
constantly. But then sometimes something does come up that's actually legit, like done well, produced well. Because to be able to just give, and like when you see cartoons or normal TV produced, and there's producers, there's money, there's writing, there's editors, and there's some kind of like idea behind it. But someone who can just grab a camera and make it is some weird YouTube clip, you're like,
Yeah.
they haven't actually thought out what they're doing, how to do it well.
Yeah.
And so if you've got to that point where there's a difference. So there's
I'm
heaps of
trying
people
to
doing
structure it more.
which is great. Like then you can sit where you are and say, that you are doing something worthwhile.
Well, I must admit, you've captured my attention. I've found myself just like binging some of your things because I'm genuinely interested. I'm like, I haven't been to that skate park yet.
Oh,
And
yeah.
there's just so many now.
There is, and I'm super lucky since pretty much since the Olympics, I feel like.
Do you think the Olympics was a big influence on that?
I don't remember parks popping up so often like that, like before 20 or 21 because it was delayed. Besides, I don't think so. Like we're always getting new parks, but maybe once a year, twice a year.
Yeah.
But now, like, it's just crazy.
It's
There's
been
like
insane, right? The last couple of years, I reckon.
almost every month, like second month, there's a new skate park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not just like, obviously not in Sydney, but New South Wales. Like they're not that far away from each other.
It's crazy.
It's great. Like I love it.
And they're all really good. Like,
Yeah.
it's insane.
Mostly really good.
Yeah.
Like it's like the bad ones are few and far between. But even the bad ones, like there'll be an element of it that's still
Yeah,
fun.
and they're smooth. Like,
I'm planning to do the new Lane Cove skate park has just opened. I don't know if you've seen that, but it's like super transition based.
Okay.
So, and a lot of people are commenting like, "Oh, Leon, you should do that Lane Cove video already. Like, why haven't you done the Lane Cove skate park?" Or they're like, "Hey, just so you know, there's a new skate park." Like, I know it's open. I follow all the skate park building site companies. I follow a lot of the builders themselves because sometimes they'll post like where they are, and I get like a sneaky idea of what park's up next. But so I'm like, yes, I know the Lane Cove skate park is ready, but like, what do you want me to go and do there? Drop in on the quarter pipe and show you? Like, I can't skate any of that stuff. I don't know what to do.
You got some skills.
I've got like 3 transition tricks.
What are they?
Front 50, back disaster. Done.
In any size transition? Like,
Oh,
or
not
is
any,
like,
but they're just
like
like
a
my
6 foot
main-
ball. 6 foot ball?
I don't know about 6 foot. Maybe, yeah. But I don't feel comfortable, and I'd love to learn. I love watching people skate like bowls and stuff. But
Yeah.
I've gone to Oran Park. Have you been to Oran Park?
You know, I haven't.
no.
Damn.
It looks insane.
they've got
It's
bowls.
an older one. That's like an older one.
Yeah,
now.
that opened in
Yeah.
2020, just before the lockdowns.
like
It
4
fully
years old.
opened
Yeah.
the week of the opening. Next week we're in lockdowns, the first lockdowns. We're like, are you serious? What's the timing on this? Like, we just got this massive mad park, but there's a big bowl with pool coping. It looks sick to me. I don't know if it's good or not because I can't skate it. But there's a mini bowl too. And I've actually gone there and put time in to try and learn how to like pump the corners and like figure out how to skate a bowl, not just go back and forth because that's all
At
I can
Oran
do.
Park. Yeah.
And it's just so annoying. Like, it just doesn't click for me. I can't
You
figure
need
it out.
an apprentice, man. You need a bowl
I
skating.
need something, yeah. There you
I
go.
know. Like a little sidekick.
Got any
need to-
tips?
Dude, you need to branch out a bit, Leon. Like be an ATV.
I would love to. But people think I can skate transition because when I go to a skate park, like there's quarter pipes at every end, obviously. So I'll hit a rail and then I'll do like a back disaster or something, and then I'll come back and hit the rail. So I've incorporated that quarter pipe, but I can't skate it any more than that one trick I've just done on it.
But that's more to keep the line flowing,
Yeah,
right?
exactly. But I've gone and put time in to try and learn, and I'm like, this sucks. This is so annoying.
Yeah.
I'm not having fun. I'm going to go and skate the rail instead.
Yeah. Have you skated Meadowbank skate park?
I was there the other day, actually.
Yeah, that place is insane.
Oh, how's that bowl? The big bowl there.
That was a really good example for me. Like that bowl is so sick.
Like the pool?
The pool bowl, the
yeah.
actual pool, the big
That one's
one.
sick.
And it's like granite coping,
Yeah.
proper pool granite coping.
Yeah.
And I did have a moment there going like, I can't skate this really. Like what a waste.
Yeah.
You know, like what am I doing with my life?
That's what I mean. Like
Like-
it's sick, but were we going to look at it and walk past it?
Yeah. And then I'm like, trying to, do a manual on an ankle high manual pad. Like, damn it.
There was actually a kid there that was killing the bowl. He was like probably 12 or 13. It's like, damn, when did you even start to be this good? Do you know what a sugar cane is?
Yeah. It's like an over.
Yeah, like a hurricane, basically.
Yeah. Well, no, it's
like
like
over.
you go over. Like you're going to do like a frontside decker, but you don't.
Yep.
You land on your back truck.
Yep.
Yeah.
So not the pool bowl, the other one, with the spine.
Yeah.
And then there's like that wall.
Yeah, with the flat. What do they call those walls where it's like tranny then
know.
flat? Like the top part
Yeah,
of
it's
it.
flat.
Kieran Woolley owns those kind of walls.
There's no transition past the bottom.
Exactly. So it's got a little tranny at the bottom and then it's like a bit of a flat section. Yeah.
So this kid was like, so the wall's here, and then there's a quarter pipes down the bottom.
Yeah.
Like the corners of the rest of it. He was airing up from the bottom and then like sugar caning the top wall and then dropping back in.
From one side, because there's a spine that divides it.
Yeah, so not the spine from the outside. So he was regular. He was coming up the Eurogap side, quarter pipe, and he was like airing up to sugarcane and then dropping in like every try. Like he was trying to dial it in and train for it or something.
How
I was
old?
like, damn. No older than 13, 14.
Okay.
He was like super young. And then he waved at his mum, like, all right, let's go to the big bowl now. I was like, Jesus.
She's
that was his
filming?
warm up. No, she was just chilling. She had her like little camper chair off to the side, just like kind of supervising him.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you get bitter, Steve? I get bitter.
I don't get bitter. No, I mean it is weird. I'm watching all this stuff. Like I was talking to someone about the other day about how kids are getting pushed into being Olympic champions in skateboarding, whereas we never did. But it's also funny, like coming back to what you're talking about, like parents being at skate parks. Dude, back in our day, you'd never see a parent at a skate park, ever.
Even
and now
mine,
it's
like,
parents
when I grew
everywhere.
up.
But what's funny is we're parents. So technically, I'm a parent at a skate park.
Yeah.
But I actually don't really take my kid there that much because he's not that into it. But when you see a parent who doesn't skate and they're at a skate park with their kid who's kind of learning, that's so weird. We'd never seen ever. And the skate park used to be a place where you would go as a kid to kind of learn how to fucking exist, like how to live. Like you'd probably get bashed up by some dude, and that's how you learn how to not go to that skate park again, or not be a dick and drop in on that guy anymore, or whatever. But that's not being learnt by these kids because their parents are there telling the other skater not to abuse their kid. And it's like I don't agree with it, but that's where we are.
Yeah. And that leads into my next question. Talk to me about skate coaching.
Skate coaching.
You're in skate parks a lot. You're seeing a lot of skate coaches.
Oh, like lessons or like
Lessons.
actual coaching?
There's lessons. Like, for example, I was at Meadowbank one time and there was I don't want to say the name of the place, but there was
It was like a skate school type of
skate
thing?
school.
Yeah,
And
I've seen that.
it was a school, like there was like 20 kids and the skate coach was like, okay, we're going to practice soloing up the Euro gap and had them all lined up
Oh, yeah.
like a PE lesson. All right, next. Blow the whistle. All right, next. Like, all right, wait, they're not finished. And I'm just like, I don't know. I never thought I'd see this in my lifetime.
It makes sense.
But I want to add to it though. I'm not necessarily negative on it, but I'm just trying to adapt to the evolution of where we're at with this. Where are you at with it?
I'm not personally involved in it, but from what I've seen, see, I want to say this in the most polite way as well, but some of the coaches I've seen aren't really like looking like they're skilled enough to be teaching this person anyway. But from what I learned from doing personal training and skating, I did some like skate lessons when I was younger too. Do you remember SBA?
Yeah. I did their logo.
Oh, true. There you go.
Gwen Cuzzer was there.
Really?
Yeah, design the logo.
Steve.
I only did like maybe 2 days. I was probably 18 or 19. Like, I was not in the state to be like mature enough to be trying to teach like kids how to do stuff. So I didn't really like it, and I didn't stick with it. But what was I even saying before that?
Skate coaching.
Oh yeah, so I was a skate coach for like two coaching sessions. But even back then, I could skate, and I was trying to teach these kids. But yeah, from what I learned from personal training to skateboarding, personal training, you're training a movement. You're teaching this person how to do it. Skateboarding, there's no way to do a trick. There's no one way to do something. It's so hard. It's so hard to teach. Like, you could do a kickflip completely different to how I do a kickflip. So if someone comes up to us and says, "Oh, how do you guys kickflip?" You're going to say a completely different answer to what I'm going to say.
Yeah.
But that works for me and that works for you. So it's hard to, like, how do you coach unless you adapt to the specific kid that's like trying to learn? But there's no like criteria of like, this is how you kickflip, this is how you ollie. There's certain basic skills that will transfer over, but like every single trick people do differently.
Yes.
So that's kind of hard to run like skate coaching if they've got like a full, from your teaching kind of thing. Like, you got a full curricula that you have to follow, right? Like, this is what I have to teach them. This is what I have to teach them. It won't work the same way with like with skateboarding. I don't think. I'm not involved in that.
Okay. Well, I think there's two types of people that see skateboarding as an art or skateboarding as a sport.
It's definitely
a spectrum.
Sporty side at the moment.
How
it's going that way.
Where are you on that spectrum?
I'm probably, not like I don't want to choose a side, but I'm probably like neither. Like, I love watching Street League and the Olympics and all this stuff, but then I love watching video parts and like skate demos and the more traditional style of skateboarding.
Yeah.
I don't know if I understand and I see why street skating and what you would say the core culture of skateboarding, like I respect and I understand that. And then I also see how far it's come and how much skateboarding is changing as well, and how, as much as people aren't going to like it, we have to like accept it's in the Olympics. People are calling it sport. People are like getting skate coaches and stuff.
Yeah.
But I'm outside of all of that. I'm just like an observer of this stuff. So it doesn't personally affect me. And I was never in the core industry. And like, as a YouTube skater, I guess, like, what kind of perspective do I have? Like, does my opinion matter? I've always been on the outside, just skating and like observing things.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
your opinion does matter, but whether you like it or not, the reason we have all these skate parks is because of the Olympics.
That's what I feel. That's why they're popping up so much. People are like, damn, look at that. The money, like, let's put more money into skating now. Let's like sponsor more people and make more skate parks.
Anyone that's campaigned for a skate park in their local community, going to one of those ridiculous council meetings with all the bullshit.
Yeah.
Sorry for swearing, because I know like you've got a large young audience. We can edit that out.
This is your show, not mine.
It's just made the process easier for them. Like, the Olympics.
Yeah.
We had 2 or 3 Australians in the Olympics.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Let's breed the next up and coming young
totally.
guys.
Yeah. So it's like I guess it's good and bad. Like, it balances it out.
It definitely has its positives and not so much negatives, but it's, I guess, negative. If you look at like skate culture and what it was before the Olympics, or even like a lot of people don't even like Street League or like X Games and stuff like that. Like, you can't score a skateboarding trick. Like, you can't put them together. And I see that too. Like, I agree to an extent. Everyone does something different. I mean, everyone does things differently. And how do you score? Like, if me and you I'm going to keep using this example. You do a kickflip down these stairs and I do a kickflip.
Yeah.
One of us is going to do it nicer because everyone's so different.
That'll be you.
And nah, I've got my kickflips aren't like that.
Mine is so mob. Anyway.
Oh, you don't even know.
I'm a heel flipper. I could probably out heel flip
I'm not good at that either. But like, how are you going to score the same trick differently?
Yeah.
But you can, because style and the art form of how you've just done that. Obviously, people look better than others when they do it. So it's a really weird thing when you think of how to score tricks. So I understand that argument too.
Yeah.
But that's still a judgment.
Where are you at with that, Steve, in terms of scoring skateboarding?
To be honest, I don't put that much thought in it. It doesn't bother me, but I don't. yeah, I don't get it. Like, I don't think you can in a way.
Yeah.
But like street league and stuff bores me. Like I watch some stuff. I've never watched an entire street league or any competition really. I can I might click through and watch like one of my favorite skaters, whatever their run was. But even then I get bored real quick. Like even Tampa Pro and stuff, I try and watch online and I just last like one run on someone and then I go back to watch the girl video or something. But but you know, like I'll rather watch a skate vid.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know the scoring thing, but the scoring thing has been around forever too. Like I remember comps back in the day, like, and we'd be doing our little comps, and people would get the shits because it's like someone who won it. They want to be like, oh, that guy, his line was shit for whatever reason. You know, everyone's going to disagree, but also on the point scoring thing, it's like, I don't think you really can score style.
Another avenue.
Because it's scoring a style is someone's perspective as well. Like,
I was going to just say
you might think a certain skater is really rad, and I might think he looks really ugly because I don't like that type of skating. So then how do you judge that?
Yeah, it's true. Me and Ty Colling were having an argument the other day because Ty's just so aggressive. No, he's not. I'm joking. But he was kind of saying how he feels like skateboarding is the most diluted he's ever seen because there's less big personalities and less big out there characters, you know, challenging, you know, things like this, like with the passing of people like Jeff Grosso and Jake Phelps, like who is out there being outspoken on certain subjects like we're talking about today, and everyone's getting so nice because they are scared of being cancelled.
Yeah, but that's across everything.
Yeah, I mean, and even like Leon, I'm not calling you out here or anything, like it makes a lot of sense. Like Leon's a bit like, look, my YouTube channel has made me more cognizant of my negative traits, such as swearing, and maybe being crude and things like that, because, you know, you don't want to, I guess, polarize an audience that shows you a lot of love, right?
Yes. Because, like, we all know what it's like growing up at the skate park and the stuff that you've seen. So, and because I know how young my audience can be.
Yeah.
And even parents, like, I've had parents come up to me like, oh my God, my son watches you all the time.
Yeah.
And then one dad I met once, he's like, oh my God, Leon, we watch your videos like at night, we eat our dinner and your YouTube videos up on the TV and like we watch it as a family.
Right.
They're that good.
Like,
I was doing the same thing. I was eating my dinner watching a review of the one of your older ones. I think it was on Glebe Skate Park. That's one of my personal favourites. And yours as well, hey Steve.
The park, yeah.
Glebe, yeah.
So, yeah, like I don't know who is watching. Because like that, I would have never guessed I've got a whole family tuning into my video watching their dinner.
But the underlying concern of cancel culture is there.
Yeah, totally.
That's what I mean. Like I have to, like I swear a lot in real life, but I didn't
notice.
I don't put that in any of my videos because I don't want to influence younger people to be swearing or like they're going to find their own path. And anyway, I'm drinking beers as well sometimes when I'm skating. I'm not trying to show that in my videos to influence these guys.
You take that out, right?
I don't like.
You just don't film it.
I think that's fair enough though, if that's your audience. But you're talking more like the cancel thing.
Like my opinions and what I say and stuff like that more.
Well, I just think because like cancel culture is so real, people are becoming more concerned about showing who they really are. So, like, you look at the Baker videos, the early ones, they're raw as hell.
Oh.
They put everything in there. They're
They
partying,
bring those
whatever.
out now.
I mean, imagine they brought them out now.
Yeah.
Like, they would literally get cancelled.
Yeah,
you know,
true.
like some of the the integration of partying and hard skating. And I mean, you know, like Reynolds passed out and, you know, Dustin just sculling beers and then 50-50ing in rail, like sitting at a bar sculling a drink or doing
That's
a shot.
actually
And then,
sick, though.
you know what I mean? Like,
that's
it's so sick, but I just think people are removing that rawness.
Well, that's what.
And is it really helping the
reality,
culture?
When you said about those characters aren't there anymore, I straight away thought of Dustin and Lizard King, what they were doing back then.
But I've got a question for you. Like, do you think protecting young people from that raw side of things is actually helping them because they're not able to find that counterbalance in and decide what is good and bad?
I think it's,
you know, like, are we wrapping them up too much? Like, because me and Steve, we were exposed to some of the rawest shit. Like, we grew up in the age of Big Brother magazine, where we could like buy this magazine and it had articles on how to make LSD and like, like, I mean, there's the really controversial one that they had, like they did an article on how to kill yourself, but it was all satire.
Yeah.
But it was just like to show you the spectrum of what's right and wrong.
Yeah.
You know, and I think it was actually healthy. Like we turned out all right.
Yeah.
I think we did. You did.
Yeah.
Not you.
I still love Big Brother. But it's also interesting. But that's also kids are finding that on the internet though now too, right? Like, is it even just as worse?
Well,
like porn and stuff is a massive issue, right?
So bad.
That's
Whereas
how I
how
was gonna
hard
answer
it was
that.
actually hard for us to get porn. You know, you'd have to like sneak one out of the newsagent
Still
somehow.
still a
But
magazine.
now a kid can just get online and just, if their parents haven't locked their computer
And that's their
or on their
education.
phone or whatever. And
that's their education.
Yeah, so that's freaky.
It is freaky.
But also probably in a way similar to, kind of like, similar but different to what we're saying about.
That's how I was going to answer that. Everything is so much more available now. Even when you were saying I might get more exposure than you guys were getting back in the day, because Instagram, Facebook, like social media wasn't like that back then. It wasn't as
didn't have
easy
it,
to just like to post to these audiences. It wasn't that easy for like your fans to like follow exactly what you're doing every day, unless, like you said, your magazine article comes out however often. Everything's so easy to see, to get a hold of.
Yeah.
Mm.
So it's completely different in that sense that they're seeing the fights and the drugs and all the alcohol and stuff like online rather than in real
Maybe
life.
actually getting it, yeah.
Not that, I don't know, real life experiencing that. Does it help better? That's how I seen that at skate parks all the time. People getting bashed, people getting robbed, people drinking and smashing bottles and smoking bongs in the toilets and stuff.
Yeah,
I was
it
like
must be
12
still
years old
existing.
looking at all this, like, damn.
Yeah, that was. But Campbelltown's. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, true. That is.
Totally.
Campbelltown was gnarly.
That's a disclaimer I should put on. That was in Campbelltown. I don't know if that's every other area.
Yeah.
Was there ever any like temptation for you to become more involved in negative or antisocial behaviour?
I think I was so focused on skating,
pretty
honestly.
You just love skating.
I think I honestly was just so focused on skating. Like I went through my phase when I turned 18, going out to the city and all that, but I was always at the skate park. Like on school holidays, every single day would have 2 weeks off at school holidays. Every day I'd be there. I'd get dropped off or I'd catch the train and the whole day I would be at the skate park.
Yeah.
So that's how I seen all this stuff, but I just wanted to skate the whole time.
Yeah, right.
I was just so like
'Cause you-
locked in and focused on it.
You kind of grew up in the hood.
Yeah, definitely did.
Yeah.
So I was seeing stuff. I definitely seen some stuff. But that's a good question. I don't know how I didn't get caught up in any of that. But
Just love
it
for skating.
it had to be like. But I wasn't hanging around. Like my friends weren't doing that sketchy stuff either. I must have found like the right people to be around that we would just go and skate, and like none of that extra stuff would like interest us.
Yeah.
It also sounds like that's you in many ways. Like even when you were saying earlier about how you thought about your career path like pretty young, of like these ideas of like what can I do? Like a lot of kids wouldn't think that. They'd just go off and smoke bombs or something. You know, you seem like you've got a focus. And I mean, I'm a similar person, I think, in many ways. Like I always had a younger mind of like thinking a little bit into the future of like not just not thinking about it. Whereas I think so you've set yourself up into this situation. Otherwise other kids would be doing it, but if they're not doing it, you know what I mean?
I don't know if that was from more trying to set up and get into a future I liked, or I didn't want to have a future I didn't like. So like the turning point at that first job I had, I really didn't like it and I knew I didn't like it. I was like, I have to work for the rest of my life. How can I work and enjoy that work? And that's how I got into there was only the two options of what I could do for the rest of my life.
Well, that's amazing that you've had that thought at a young age, because so many people wouldn't.
Yeah.
And that's when they get, I don't know, it's a generalization, but some people just get caught out without, you don't have to plan your life out, but at least be aware of who you are and
have some ideas,
what choices you have.
I think even going back into that, when I chose to become a personal trainer, I was like, all right, I love training. I'm going to help people do what I did. And then that's how that started. But as I slowly got out of it, I realized like it was funny to look back at how passionate I was. Like if you asked me back then, I would be like, yep, I'm going to go open up a gym and I'm going to be that guy and I'm going to do this. And I look back at that now and I have no interest in that life at all, which is really crazy to how deep I was into that. But now skating, I've been skating since I was 12 and I've always loved that. So there's never been a question. But when it came to those options, I was like, I can't skate for a living. Like I'm nowhere near even a sponsored level skateboarder. How am I going to be pro and get paid to be a skateboarder?
But even the best skateboarders
they don't make a
struggle
living
to
either.
make a living. And like there's such a small percentage. Like Like you just.
But I wasn't even if I thought I could become that, I never got that far. I was like, yep, skating's out of the question. But I didn't know any of what I'm doing now is possible.
Yeah. And you work in a skate shop as well.
Yeah, so everything I do is pretty much skating fully, which is amazing. But I didn't know. It's funny to think when I was, all right, I like skating and I like training. What am I going to do with my life? No, skating's not going to work. But now everything I do is based around skateboarding.
And you are making enough money to live?
Yeah. I've got I'm juggling a few things within like my YouTube, working in the skate shop, doing the YouTube videos for the skate shop too. So I've still got one client left too, one personal training client. One of the older ones that wanted to keep, like they don't want to go to the gym anymore. They just want to keep up what they're doing.
Yeah.
So I'm like, I got a few different things I'm doing that kind of equals like a normal wage.
Yeah.
Sweet. That's awesome, dude.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you said you're filming a skate part at the moment, street part.
Yeah, it's very slowly.
And this is your second one. So tell us about the first street part you put out. What was the name of that movie?
Gobbledock.
Yeah.
Do you remember him?
Yeah, he
Do you
was
remember
like
the
the
chip
chip
guy?
guy.
Yeah, the
Smith
Smith
Chips.
Chips. Little gremlin from the Smith
I'm
Chips
surprised
ads.
you know that. Or was that your generation? I guess it was.
It was towards the end of the Gobbledock was probably when I was a little kid.
Yeah.
Like I don't remember it as much. Like I didn't grow up with him. But funny name actually. The funny story how we got that name. Me and my man Harry that we were filming. Like me and Harry filmed the video together. We were filming. I was trying to do this line. I was trying to backsmith this ledge, and then I can't remember what the second trick was, but it was a ledge spot where there was two ledges, and I was like, oh, I just can't dip it right. Like I wasn't getting the smith dipped. And in my opinion, when you're doing a backsmith on a ledge, if your board doesn't touch the coping or like the ledge, it doesn't count. Your front trucks have to be below the level of the coping, and your board has to touch.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's when I know I've done a backsmith.
Yeah.
If I feel my board touch.
Keep going.
They're hard.
I feel like everyone can do backsmiths except me. Anyway, keep
They're
going.
not that easy, but I see the kids
They
doing
look
them now.
good. If you do a
what the
good
hell?
one. Yeah.
Everyone does them easy. Anyway, keep going. Sorry, I cut you off.
So I don't remember how it was phrased, but I was saying something like that, and Harry was like, he started saying the phrase like, "Oh, you better lock up your Smith's chips because of the Gobbledock or something." And I was like, "What? What did you just say?" Because it kind of sparked something in my memory. I was like, I feel like I know that. What did you just say? And he's like, "It's the Gobbledock from the Smith Chips ad." It's like, that is so funny. And he like unlocked that memory for me. And I was like, damn, because we didn't have a deadline or anything, but we're trying to think, what are we going to name this video when we're done? Yeah. And I was like, damn, Gobbledock, just as one word would be sick, like as a video title. And he's like, that would actually be sick. And we never looked back from that. That was the name just then. But it came like so natural.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's how we got that name.
Classic Aussie way to come up with a nickname or a name.
Yeah, but everything came together so well. Like it was referenced from a skate trick. It's like an old funny Aussie ad. So like, oh man, let's do it.
I love it. Do you ever skate like street spots and go, this is bullshit, like this ground isn't polished concrete, I'm not going to skate here?
I was so precious. What's he, or Grilf, or Ben, however you know him.
Dude, I love Ben Watts. Ben, shout
man.
out, man. You know I
Shout
love
out, my man.
He skates so good.
I can credit a lot of my skating to him too, actually.
But again, style matters. Like,
oh, yeah.
His style kind of reminds me of Vincent Alvarez. He kind of gets this back leg, like in surfing they call it like a Craig leg. Like you drop that back knee in a little bit.
Yep.
And it's just effective. And I don't know, I just love how he skates.
He goes fast and powerful too.
I think speed adds a lot of flavour.
But he came back. We talked about this in his episode, I'm pretty sure. 2020, he came back to Australia from Norfolk. Mm-hmm. So I was skating with him heaps, a lot. And he was making me a better skater because we'd go and skate something and I'd be scared to just say this handrail. I'm like, oh, I want to board slide it, but I'm kind of scared. And he would just be like hopping on 50s, Smiths, nose grinds. Like, damn, how am I scared to board slide this thing when he's just having a full private demo? Surely I can just hop on it. And then I'll do it. But then he helped me like unlock or get that fear away.
Right.
And then he would always want to street skate. And then I'd go street skating with him. And I'd be like, oh, what? This ground's so rough. That ledge is so high. Like full diva on the session. Like, oh my God, how are you even skating that? And he's like, dude, it's not even that rough. Like you're honestly like, you're doing too much, pretty much.
Yeah.
But like, so he helped me. I don't know. He didn't physically, like, he didn't do it himself, like, to push me to get out of that. But watching him skate and skating with him a lot helped me like get rid of a lot of fear with skating and just not send it, but like actually try stuff and not just be so scared about it.
Yeah, sick.
But yeah, it was so precious, and he can definitely agree on that.
How different is like a park rail to then going to a street rail? Like they could be the same height and everything.
They're never the same. Street skating,
Street rail.
street hand rails, you have to skate at least a 10 stair for the dimensions to be good. Because if you're skating anything lower than a 10, then the rail's higher and it's steeper.
Yeah.
So from my experience in the rails I've skated, anything from a 10 stair and above, which is when it gets more scary and like gnarlier, obviously.
Yeah.
But they are the better like dimensioned rails to skate.
Okay. In terms of like, because you can ollie out more, and so it's effectively lower when you get on.
But the stairs are longer too. So the rail doesn't just go straight down. Just think about like how long a 5 stair is.
Oh yeah.
That rail would have to go from the top of the 5 to the bottom. But if it's a 10 stair, it goes further in distance. So it doesn't go straight down.
So the gradient is probably
more
less,
mellow.
more mellow.
Yeah. But then you have to jump on a 10 stair rail.
Yeah, totally.
So it's like it's a massive contradiction. Like the bigger the rail, the easier technically because of the dimensions of it, but it's not easier.
You did a 10 stair rail. No, you backstrode 50-50 to, was it a 12 stair? Was that the one in Redfern? No.
Oh, in that last video?
Might have been.
That was the ride rails.
The ride rails.
Yeah, the 12 stair at
12
the top.
stair, yeah. You did that.
That was horrifying.
Back 50-50?
Yeah.
How many shots?
Damn, that was a session actually. This was a perfect example of me freaking out. So I got the homies there to go and film. That's what I had in mind to be like my ender for the part.
Yeah.
Because that rail's been annihilated forever. But I've never seen anyone back 50 it.
Yeah, right.
I've seen all. I've looked,
it's a
I've
round
asked
rail.
everyone. Yeah, it's a round rail. But like back 50 is just the easier, most comfortable trick I wouldn't do anything else on it. But I could probably swear to you that someone's back 50'd it. I don't know if they have, but why wouldn't they? Like that would be your warm-up trick before a backsmith or whatever. But I have never seen a back 50 done on it. So I was like, damn. Not that I care about MBDs, ABDs and all that. I'm not on that level. But I was like, if I back 50 this would be sick. Like it's a 12 stair rail. I've never even skated a 12 stair rail.
Yeah.
So to me, it was ender worthy. So I got the boys together.
It's a scary looking rail.
But the rails are perfect. Like for a street rail, that rail is lower than normal too.
Okay.
So it's mellow. Dimensions are good, but the actual height of it's lower. It's not low in any way, but it's lower than normal.
Yeah.
So we got there, and if you don't know the spot, the 12 is at the top and then the 13's at the bottom. So people have hit both of them in a row, like grinded the first rail.
Yeah, I think Chima backside nearly lipped it. Chima just destroyed that whole spot.
He did fakie too in that last part.
Fakie to front, fakie to front board.
I know what you're talking about now.
That trick is the most awkward blind behind your back type of trick, and that rail
like
to just
fakie
do that,
to what do you call it? Fakie to switch frontside board or fakie.
You technically
back,
you're
what
in
do
a
you call that
you fakie ollie and then you're in a front board
on the other side of the rail though, like transfer.
You regular,
yeah.
So the rail's here.
Yeah.
You're coming this way and you fakie ollie onto the rail onto a front
Yeah,
board.
it's like behind you. You can't see shit.
And then you go back to fakie.
But can you do nollie backside lip slides on flat rails?
I can do them, but
Because it's the same thing, except you're nollie.
Yeah, it's like
nah, it's not that trick.
Well, why is it different though? Because
When
like
you're
think
nollie,
about it, you're
rolling
fake.
It is the same. It's the exact same movement, but nollie you're facing forward, and you can look over your left shoulder to where the rail is.
Yeah, and because that trick comes around really easy.
When you're doing it fakie, you're not looking
Yeah,
that
your
way.
tendency is to
You're
look the other
backward.
way.
You're fakie. So it's like unless you can open up your shoulders and look that way, I can't.
It's hard to do. Yeah, that's true.
So like when I went there and looked at it, and I was like, no way he did that. I knew he did it, but rolling up and picturing myself popping backwards onto that rail, it makes no sense.
Yeah. How do you overcome that fear?
Well,
How do you? Well, what's your
this is
mental
a good-
go?
So that session, I'll get back to that. So I had the homies in the car, went to that spot with the intentions to do to do that back 50. we parked downstairs, like down the 13. I walked up. I seen the 13 stair rail. I was like, no way. Is that the one I'm supposed to skate today? Walked up. I was like, oh, no, that's the one. That's the smaller one. It's only one stair smaller. Because they're pretty close together. Like the landing of the 12 stair is the run up for the 13.
Yeah.
So, and then as I got to midway up the 13, I was looking at the 12 stair rail. I was like, no, that's the 12. Is that the smaller one? It looks just as big. And I got there. I stood at the bottom and I looked at it. And I just went quiet. And I was like, I didn't want to tell my mates that, like, I'm not doing this today.
Everyone's come for you.
Yeah. No one else was skating it. But I was like, there's no way. Like, I'm so out of my league. I'm not doing it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, Leon, hell yeah, you got this. This will be easy. My mate started putting his music on, like, to get the vibes going. And I had a beer at the top, and I was like, just looking at it, sipping this beer, like, nah, there's no way I'm touching this thing. It's crazy. And they're like, no, come on, don't be like that. Like, don't worry about us. Like, we don't care if you don't want to do it. Like, oh, you just got me here for no reason. It's like, just look at the rail. You know you can do it. Just focus on it. Take your time. I was like, nah, I don't know. It's like, all right. And they finally talked me into it. So I was like, Harry always says this is so stupid of me, but before I hit a rail, I mentally have to ollie the stairs.
Yeah, right.
No matter how big the rail is. So I was like, I have to ollie this 12 stair. Never ollied a 12 stair in my life.
Really?
No.
Okay.
I've done like a 10, 11 maybe.
Yeah.
I was like, damn. Just for me to mentally get over the barrier of jumping on the rail, I just had to ollie the stairs. I don't know why. I just have this thing in me.
Yeah, I get it.
So we went to Meadowbank Skate Park because Ride's not far from there. Warmed up, back 50'd that rail like 20 times in a row, but it's so small, like it doesn't translate. Like, all right, I guess I'm ready. Let's go. Went to the spot, had a brand new board ready. Was like, all right, I'm doing it, boys. I'm going to ollie the stairs. I went so far back for the run up. I ran, I threw down, and I was like, the cracks are pretty far apart, but the way I knew I was going fast, I was like, do-do-do-do-do-do, because it was like, I was so fast. I popped the ollie, and I cleared probably a 15, 16 stair. I was going so fast. I landed on the back, though, and snapped my tail and, like, shot out. I was like, no. And I ripped my pants, and, like, my hip was ripped because the landing's, like, rough. It's like full cheese grater.
Yeah.
And I was like, all right, that's my first attempt. This is not going to be a good session. So I had a spare board with me just in case because it's a 12 stair. I set up the spare board that was already skated, the one before I set up this fresh one. So it was good condition, already skated, already worn in. Set that up, went back up. I was like, all right, let's go. I even did I stood at the top and jumped to flat just to get G'd up. I jumped the stairs. It's stupid. It's worse. And then next try, ollied it, slipped out. I don't remember if I broke another board. I did. So I broke a second board, ollieing the stairs, had to go back to the car, get my mate's spare board out because I only had one board left.
Right.
So I was like, if I break this one, I want this one to be ready.
Right.
But on the third board, I landed the ollie like 6th or 7th try. But at that point, I was dusted. I just jumped down. I jumped down it 6 times, plus my body jumping down it. My hips were all shredded up from falling, and I was sore. Got that out of the way. I was like, oh. My mate's like, yeah, that was sick. I was like, no, it's not. Now I have to try the rail.
Yeah, totally.
So I was like, all right, I'm going to back 50 it this try. And just super hyped up, ran through down. And I was freaking out when I popped. And I just popped into a board slide and then like shot out and like fell over.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, damn. I didn't try the 50, but maybe I should do a board slide next just to get my hype up. So I spent the next like 6 tries trying to board slide it.
So you were getting on it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Because the rail was sweet.
Because that's often the hardest part is the initial just like committing to...
Oh, no, like that took so long.
To stomping onto it.
I've skipped past how long it took, how many roll-ups that took me to hop onto my first board slide.
Right.
Yeah.
But so maybe 6, I'm pretty sure 6 ollies, 6th attempt for the ollie, 5 or 6 for the board slide. And then I was like, all right, I'm finally ready. I've made it further than I expected. I've ollied the stairs. That's sick. I've never ollied a 12. Board set a 12 stair rail. Never done that before. Let's do the 50 now. My first 50 attempt, back truck locked in, front truck slipped off into a feeble. And then I just jumped off. I was like, oh, all right, this isn't that bad. Like, why did I just waste 12 attempts trying to board set and ollie this dumb 12 stair? And then the next two or three tries, I stomped it, like back 50, grinded, landed, fell forward, elbows done. Next try, back 50, fell forward, my hip and my knees done. The next try, I fell forward again, bruised my palms. They were all like shredded open. And I was on the ground, like fetal position almost, like arms across, legs across. I was like rocking back and forth, like fully. And my mate was like, are you all right? Like, do you want me to get something to wrap your hands up? I was like, I just need one more try. I know I can do it. And I only have one more left in me.
Yeah.
Went back to the top. I did it, but I don't remember doing it. Like, I threw down. I don't even remember if that was the try that I threw down, but don't remember popping onto it. I remember landing, and it's like it's weird. People say, oh, I blacked out and I just did it. Like, nah, I don't know if is that real? I fully blacked out and did it.
I've had it. I've had that show. You've had it, Steve, surely.
It's a weird thing to think about. But the landing, the impact of the landing is what kind of like snapped me out of that blackout.
Yeah, right.
So like I landed, took the impact, and I was like, oh shit, the next stair set's coming up. And I like jumped off my board really awkwardly and ran down the stairs.
All right.
I was like, oh my God, I just did it. And I just ran over and laid on the grass. I was like, oh my God, I can't believe it. And I was like shaking. Both of my legs were like, hips were swollen because of all the slams I took. Like that was the worst session I've ever had. That was the most painful, stressful. That sucked. And then my mate Seiji that was filming, he's like, yeah, but you fucking did it, dog. Oh, you know Seiji?
I know Seiji,
Yeah, he's the best. He was like, oh, man, like seeing his reaction as well. Like, and then it was like, damn, I did do it. I can't believe that.
It's amazing what you can overcome. Like once you just start the journey, like you went from getting there going, I'm not doing this today.
Fully like, I was
to
like,
just
nah.
like, I'm gonna roll up on it.
Yeah.
And then now I'm gonna just I'm gonna just start tinkering.
Yeah.
And next thing you know, it's like you get a little taste. You're like, hang on.
Yeah.
And then and then it's like a series of small victories.
Yeah.
So cool.
I just wish I skipped the ollie and the board side, and I could have been so
Swing
fresh
straight to it.
trying the 50.
What do you prefer, round rails or square rails?
Round, 100%.
What?
Wow, no way.
Is that because of your cross lock ability?
Yes, but I never really knew. I knew I liked skating round rails more,
Yeah.
and I can do a lot more tricks on round rails more, and I would always choose a round rail over a square. And then it wasn't until Jamie Foy explained it, which we have to respect his opinion. He's one of the best rail skaters in the world. The way he explained it was on a round rail, you've got the whole 180-degree radius to lock onto and play with.
Yeah.
On a square rail, you've only got the 90 on each side.
Yeah.
So, and unless you're doing like one of those neutral grinds where your trucks are on top,
On it.
Yeah.
like that's not, like how else do you 50, I guess, but
Yeah.
you're not on either side. Like you have to use that 90 degree, and it's almost like a ledge.
Yeah,
If
right.
you think it's like a really small ledge. So I can probably hurricanes, like front side and back side hurricane on a square rail, better than a round rail. But other than that, every other trick is round rail.
Round rail.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I can't back 50
Yeah, it
a
makes
square.
sense, actually. I just hate flat rails. I hate rails generally, but
You're a ledge guy.
yeah.
Speaking about style, like style really does matter. I think about it more and more. I'm so drawn to style. Like Steve got the cover of Slam magazine, just pushing
Really? That's
because the
sick.
style was so steezy. Who are some skaters' styles that you really gravitate towards, like favorites? Who are some of your favorite
probably
skaters, style-wise?
Style, damn. The first person I just thought of was Ishod.
Yeah,
Like that effortless flow.
yeah.
Yep.
But I don't know, like I was talking to someone before. I don't have this guy that's like my favorite skater and I love like the way he does this or the way he does this, but yeah, I can't really
tricky
I
one.
might have to go with the short, actually.
Yeah.
He's
That's
just the
a good
first
one.
person that
It's a good
popped
one.
That's a good one.
Just whenever
Yeah.
whenever you just said that, he's the first person that came to mind.
Yeah, I reckon. I like your style because, like, I said this to you on the phone the other day. Like, big dudes, when I see tall guys on skateboards, I don't know, just watching them throw their big frame around, there's something really sick about it. Like, I used to love Javonte Turner. You probably don't even
Yeah.
know who that is, do you?
I've heard.
Brian,
I've heard
Brian
the name.
Anderson for sure.
Brian B.A. Who else is tall and sick? Oh, Jason Lee back in the
Oh,
day.
Jason Lee for sure.
Style
yeah.
master.
Yeah, like lanky, tall.
yeah.
dudes. Yeah.
Something about it. So sick. How tall are you, Steve? You're pretty tall.
I'm 6'2".
There you
Yeah.
go. So you're another example
Yeah.
of it. Yeah, man. Listen, egg skateboards. What is up with you and your obsession with egg style skateboards?
I was wondering if you're going to ask this. Yeah, so filming most of that first part I did was on an 875.
Right.
And then I rode the same because street skating, I wanted my setup to be the same. So every time I went to a spot, I knew, all right, my board's going to perform exactly how I know it will and how I want it to.
Right.
So after I finished filming that first part, there's heaps of egg boards that I had my eyes on just because they look cool. I don't know.
Yeah.
I wanted to have like a cool shaped board or something because riding the same board for like a whole year straight. I was riding pretty much the 875 Anti-Hero Eagle board, like back to back to back to back, same board. It's like, I'm going to get an egg board and just like set up a cruiser board and just like skate parks again for fun because I don't remember what that's like anymore. So I got this 9.1 inch egg board, stepped on it and thought it was so sick. Like the way it funnels out in the middle. So where you're standing is the widest point. So you're super comfortable.
Yep.
Heaps of space on it, but the kicks taper smaller. So the nose and the tail are smaller. So a 9.1 was probably had the kicks of maybe like an 875. So the kicks are more functional because they're smaller, but you have a lot more surface to stand on and like just cruise around on in the middle. Plus the heroin skateboards, egg boards that I started riding, their wheelbases are shorter too. So you can have a really wide board in the middle, but the tapered kicks and the smaller wheelbase helps it just skate like a normal board.
Yeah.
Right.
So that was my first one, and I pretty much, people like always give me shit about it. Like, you had one egg board and then you just took that as your whole personality.
You've kind of become the egg.
Like, you're the egg guy now.
That's what I mean. You kind of become the egg guy. It's so funny.
Like, they're overrated. Why do you ride them so much? Like, I can't stop. Like, they're just so sick. So
Yeah.
from riding the 875s to the 9 inches, popsicles don't usually go any bigger than that.
Yeah.
And besides a 10 inch, like
Yeah.
weirdly, 10 inches like the next one. So my regular size is like anywhere from a 925 to a 975 egg board, obviously. So,
Yeah.
so the wheelbase is a little shorter. The tail and the nose works fine. So it's still good for scooping tricks like pop shovels, tray flips, all that.
Yeah.
The tapered nose helps you like slap you into grinds more because like the
Yeah, right,
corners are
catch
kind
it.
of gone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So like just starting to ride egg boards, they felt better, honestly, than a normal board. So I didn't want to stop riding them.
Yeah.
I went from 9.1 to like I think 9.25, and then 9.5 was my regular shape. Then I tried a 9.75, and then I was trying a 10 inch,
Yeah.
and then I kind of just didn't stop going up. And just recently, I skated a 14.25 inch
Dude.
wide board.
I watched that. I watched that video.
Yeah,
Who makes them?
the
14
Exila.
heroin
Yeah,
skateboards
heroin.
makes
What?
it. Yeah.
So it's obviously like a pure novelty thing.
Yeah.
It looks
right.
it looks like a skim
It's
board.
100% looks like a skim board, but with concave. The first one, so this is the Exila 2 that I've got. The first Exila was 13.5 inches, but it was flat, like it didn't have concave or anything.
Yeah.
That looked like a full-on skim board. This one has like a bit of concave and then some kicks too. But I just like them and they skate really well for the way I want to skate, I guess, is my answer.
You're a big
That's
dude.
fair enough.
But you I can't believe you tray flipped it.
I should show you what I did the other day. I went and skated glebe with it.
Yeah.
I put some 39 millimeter wheels on it.
Why?
No.
So the first time
Why?
this is the response I always get. Why is your board so big? Why are you doing that?
Why are your wheels so small? Why'd you do that?
So I've already had these wheels from Boardy Cakes. There's a guy, American dude imports these Boardy Cakes wheels and like other American stuff.
Yeah.
So we can get it here. So the Boardy Cakes is a brand. They're 39 mil wheels. I just wanted to try them. Like I'm in a position where I can just try these weird kind of wacky things and make YouTube videos about them, and people love to see it. So I had an idea. First of all, I spent like over $500 on that setup. The Exilla board, the board itself was $320 for the deck.
What?
Wow.
Why?
It's just because it's so big. There's so much wood. It's like a specialized shape.
Let's have a special press.
It can't just be pressed. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay.
So the whole mold would have had to be redone. Yeah. And then I had to get 10-inch trucks for it, which is the biggest trucks I could find, and then like build it
Who
from there.
Who makes them?
Independent.
Indie make
yeah,
them?
I got independent. But
What do they make them for? For like those? Yeah, I was gonna say they make it for the mega rams.
Yeah, the old.
Anyway.
But yeah, so what initially I wanted to skate that board. I never got my hands on the first model, so I got the second one, and so the amount of money I spent on it, I was like, damn, I spent so much money on this. I need to make a few videos in a row just to get my money's worth. I just spent so much money on it. So my next idea was to put the 39mm wheels on it, because I was like, damn, that'll be funny. Like, even like as a YouTube video, biggest skateboard, like it's 14.25 wide. So it's super extremely wide. And then 39mm wheels, which is the opposite of extreme.
Yeah.
But I had I always structure my videos in a way. I had a story or an angle behind it to like, because it's smaller wheels, it'll lighten the setup, obviously, and then I'll sit closer to the ground. So this big, hunky, heavy-ass board will pop easier and be lighter to get off the ground.
Okay. And?
So it was, yeah.
Okay.
I actually did heaps of flip tricks
But
on it.
not slow as, though, with the small wheels?
It was. That's why I wanted to go to Glebe Skate Park, because it's kind of new,
smooth
like it's
and
really
flatter.
smooth.
Yeah.
But and I put I've only rode those Reds once, but like the Bones Reds bearings, so they were pretty new, and still slow though. The wheels are 103A as well, so super hard. But it's because if it was a softer wheel, that thing would flat spot so quick for how small it is.
Yeah, yeah.
So it skated really well. Like what did I do? I did on flat ground. I did like kickflip, nollie flip, switch flip. I did nollie tray, which I was pretty surprised about. I'll show you all this stuff in a second.
Are you making a vlog about it?
Yeah, I was filming that video. Was like biggest board versus the smallest wheels or whatever.
Yeah.
But so I had a few trick requests that I had on that board from the first video. So I was like, all right, I need to make another video doing the trick requests people sent in. Plus, I wanted to see how it worked, and it was so much better. It skated. It was so fun. Yeah. It skated well. It counteracted like the weight of the board.
Yeah.
But I was doing stuff like half cab flip on it, which I'm horrible at half cab flips, and somehow I nollie heel flipped it too, which I never thought would work because of how much. Yeah, and it was only like third try as well.
No way.
But it flips like really well.
No way.
I should have brought it today.
So
Damn, I was
sick.
thinking about it too actually.
Wow, man.
But the eggs, they're just fun. But at the moment I'm riding a jacuzzi egg board. It's a 9.1, so this is the lowest I've gone over the last year. Yeah.
Did you pick up my 8-inch popsicle board and just go like, I'm disgusted by this thing?
I stepped on it and I thought you were joking when you said it was an 8-inch. I thought it was like 7.5 or 7.75.
Dude, me and Steve are all about
What are you size,
7.75.
foot 12 or something?
11.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same as me.
Steve, you rode 7.75.
But I rode 7, yeah, totally.
Dude,
But
I'm
when
all about
I
it.
But that's, you get used to it, I guess.
Remember Sid told me he used to shave his 7.75s down with a file so they were 7.5.
Yeah. Yeah, Mick used to do that too.
Did he really?
Yeah.
How wild is it to see then? Me riding a 14.25.
I know, right?
Wild. But it's funny though, I've been at skate parks and stuff and younger crew have like picked up a board and go, oh, look at this 8-inch board. And then they'll have a little cruise on it and go, oh my God, this is so much easier to skate.
Yeah.
Like they're like, I can flip it so much easier and stuff. I'm like, yeah.
It does. It just depends what you want. Everyone always asks
Yeah,
me.
exactly. Like,
It's just so on trend to have wide boards, in my opinion. It doesn't work for everyone.
No,
Yeah.
it doesn't.
But they're just trying to keep up because that's what their favourite
Yeah.
pro's doing.
It definitely works for me, but like I'm a big dude. I need a
You are a big
strong
dude.
board, a wide board. I
Makes
skate.
sense.
I don't do that. I can do flip tricks, but I don't do many.
yeah.
Yeah.
Like I can skate like a pyramid hit maybe or some flat ground.
Yeah.
But like I'm not doing tricks downstairs or anything. I can't.
But Brian Anderson does those boards that are a bit football-y shaped, right? Doesn't he? I
Probably.
think he shapes it a bit like that.
He rides that 9-inch anterior board pretty regularly.
It's a bit like not an egg, but it's like the football shape, right? Or maybe not.
There's Antero does a lot of them actually.
Yeah.
They do a lot of good shapes. So I'm probably
Any hero do good boards, yeah.
What size boards are you riding at the moment?
I'm back on 8, thanks
You're
to
back on 8,
Dado.
is it?
Damn.
He was like, to what you were exactly saying, I was riding big boards, I don't even know why, because everyone else was riding them. And then He's like, dude, just try an 8. And he gave me it. And I'm like,
Dude.
what the hell was
Dude.
I doing for the last 3 years
Yeah,
or whatever longer?
I rode an
I can flip my
8.5.
board again.
I rode an 8.5 because I was trying to keep up and be cool.
Yeah.
And I was like, I fucking hate this.
Dude, I'm back on 8.
I can't
And to be honest with you, I want to get on your contact
so
for the
funny.
39 mils. Oh,
It's so funny to hear 8.5 is
some
big.
small wheels.
Straight out of 90s, man. Ron
Get me,
Kennedy.
yeah, totally.
Damn, 8.5.
We used to put our wheels on a lathe and
Oh, to make 'em
lay them
smaller.
down to make them smaller. Yeah.
What for? To flip, make it lighter.
To
and
make
flip?
it lighter. Exactly
Yeah.
what you're saying, bro.
Yeah,
like, it's
yeah,
funny
yeah.
you're thinking that because we were thinking that back in the 90s because
It makes
all wheels
sense.
were like bigger. Like, they were big.
Yeah.
And also, you could ride your wheels for a bit and then to make them new again, you just lathe off like a
True.
mill and then you'd have a new set of wheels again.
But is it
you go.
specifically just for flip tricks?
It was just it was the trend of the time. I mean, to be honest with you, we all just did it, and probably it was ridiculous because you're pushing around. We're not pushing around on Glebe Skate Park. We're pushing
Yeah,
around on
true.
bitumen,
Yeah,
like the
there was no
craziest
skate parks
bitumen
like this.
and pebbles,
So
and
crazy.
it was
yeah.
stupid.
Because it's, I get it, and like, I guess the older guys will say that, but I don't see how functional.
But it's a
they
lower
are.
center of gravity for sure. That was the.
Yeah,
that was the.
Yeah.
I mean, we used to do crazy things like only put 3. To be honest with you, my board's probably here. Put 3 deck bolts in because you thought it made your board lighter.
Is that why?
Yeah, we
I
all,
used to do that when I was a
Totally
teen, and I didn't
Just
know
to be
why.
cool.
your board's a little bit lighter.
But no, I fully
still works.
I fully didn't know why, but like that was just a thing.
Yeah.
Some people
I
used to
think
run
we
2
saw-
bolts in each truck
Yeah.
only.
But then if you start doing heavy nose slides, your truck just pops off.
But the advent of hollow trucks,
Yeah,
for me,
made a
that's
big
been
difference.
the biggest game changer.
Yeah.
That's so sick.
I got hollows. I try and stick around 54 mil for my wheels,
Yeah.
and I ride deck rails on every board. I'm probably different because of my size, but
Yeah.
I feel like you can just get used to anything. Like,
Yeah.
That's
I
it.
can still do all my flip tricks, not all of them, but just on that 14 the other day, for example, I did a lot of my flip tricks, obviously not as easy,
Yeah.
and I'm not going to ride that thing every day, but you can get used to any type of setup. So you should try and find something that works best for your type of skating, is what I always tell people.
Yeah, good
Yeah,
advice. And I think experiment. I mean, maybe I should experiment with some different shapes. Yeah, instead of just the popsicle that I've been skating for however long.
Yeah, well, that's what was another thing that was so refreshing. I started at 12. It was only maybe the beginning of last year I started riding egg boards.
Yeah.
I'm not going to try and do that math, but that was a long time riding a
Yeah.
popsicle. So when I got my egg board, I was like, damn, this is sick.
Yeah.
It looks so fun under my feet, and like I'm having more fun. It's not so. What's he used to say the same thing? He rides that shape from Girl, like the couch or the love seat or something.
Right.
So, and he's like, yeah, when I look down, it's not so serious. I just have fun. So it makes skating less serious because
Yeah.
I don't feel like I'm
get
riding a
that.
serious
Yeah.
board.
And it does open up different possibilities. Like that shape just works better for this
Yeah.
particular trick.
Yeah.
You know, and I've actually found that even with some like, variations on popsicles. I'm like, if there's a bit of a difference in the wheelbase or there's, a slight tapering
yep.
at the tail, I'm like, oh, that board's so much better for tray flips or that board's so much better for nollie kick flips. I don't know.
It is, but the madness gets crazy when you start thinking
I
and
know,
going
it's
too
all in
deep.
your head.
Like, oh, maybe this or like
Yeah.
that. Maybe having one less deck bolt will help me
Totally,
ollie
it's
higher or something.
I mean, there's
The board
got to be
mount
something
madness
to
is
it. but
crazy.
If as long as in your brain you
Yeah.
believe it, it'll happen. It works.
Skaters get crazy with their setup. So
Yeah.
But I love what's his philosophy. Like, it just looks fun under my
Yeah.
feet.
Yeah,
and
that's
that,
good.
that gets me excited.
yeah,
He's so wise.
just
that
something
guy.
simple like that. It's like, yeah, that could change your whole session. Having like a shaped board.
Totally.
He's so wise, that dude. What about how he stared down a great white shark? Remember that story?
Wild.
I just remembered. Had this guy on the
That's
podcast.
scary.
Yeah, Grilf, Ben Watts, amazing skater. Also works at the same skate shop, same chain of skate shops. We're not going to say their name on here. Do we say their name? We don't have to, no. Anyway, he was,
He had a shark come at him.
dude, he was like spearfishing in the deep, and then this popped over this ledge, and there's like a 6 meter great white shark just staring him down and swimming at him. And just like the story's insane, dude.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Just like, and because he's just such a G, he just like
Stared it
held
off.
his ground.
Well, that's what they say.
Held his
Like,
ground,
if you
yeah.
stare it off, it works.
like-
Apparently, I guess he proved it. Yeah.
He's like that with security as well, all the time. He's just like
Is he?
stands his ground with security every time.
He's such a gentle soul,
That's
though.
what's funny, like-
That's what surprises me.
He's like super helpful, super nice to you,
Kind.
but he's got something in him that if you awaken it,
Well, it comes out in his skating.
Yeah.
like he just.
that's how he channels his energy, I think.
Yeah, like Sam Giles is the same.
Yeah,
Like
true.
the kindest, nicest dude. But
But
then
there's a
just
beast
gets on
in
a,
there.
and then just an animal.
Yeah.
Just like no fear.
Yeah,
Well, he's got fear, but he just like takes it on.
Another legend, Sam.
Yeah, I love him. Yeah, man. Phew. Covered some topics, man. Is there anything else?
We did.
Is there anything I've forgotten to ask you?
I don't know. I don't know what your list was.
I don't know. Well, I've sort of gone through most of it. You've covered a lot of your early days in southwestern Sydney.
YouTube stuff.
Yeah. I didn't ask you about
stuff.
your school days. But,
True,
I
we should mention that
I know
anyway.
I know about your school days.
Why do you know that?
I'm embarrassed to say now.
Why?
Because it's weird.
I didn't
Yeah.
even realise we didn't mention this. I think we did on What's His
We
episode.
He was a
did.
teacher or something.
Yeah, but I must admit, look, this is going to be the oldest fucking thing I've ever said. Sorry for swearing, but
Nah, don't worry.
I just feel like really proud of you because
you.
it's like I remember you as an awkward teenager
Big lanky
going
guy.
through that. Yeah, lanky, goofy. All your mates loved him, but like didn't do any of your schoolwork, like annoying as shit as your teacher. But you have just grown into like someone I actually look up to and respect in a lot of ways, and
Thanks.
I just like how life does that, and I'm so glad we came in contact, man. It's rad.
Thanks for that, yeah.
But yeah, like I'm sort of stoked too that like we can be friends. I'm not like it's not it's like I
Yeah.
feel like we're peers now.
After
We're
starting
peers.
like that, that's funny, yeah.
Yeah, it's sick, dude. It's a weird.
Nah,
weird.
you're a legend from what I remember. You probably have a different memory.
Yeah, I get very conflicted with teaching in terms of why I do it, and also the position it places me in. Sometimes you have to be someone you don't want to be.
I just,
You might have experienced that with personal training.
well, no, I was just listening to Sean Enoch's episode again, and you're
Yeah.
saying how you had to tell that kid to stop skating at school,
Yeah.
and you're like, no, I can't. Like, my principal just told me to tell this guy to stop. I'm so conflicted. I don't want him to stop. Like, I don't want to be that guy to tell him to stop.
Yeah, yeah. I was in that position where I had to tell someone
Yeah.
to stop trying something.
Yeah.
Although that kid was never going to land that. But
Hey, you tried.
he did try, man. Yeah, so if you are interested in what Leon does, go and check out his YouTube channel. It's just Leon Paxton,
Yeah,
isn't it?
yeah. Yeah, people are like, oh, what's your channel name? Like,
Leon
should I, am I supposed to have a channel name? It's just me, Leon Paxton.
Yeah, and I mean, in this day and age where like there's a lot of content, I just think it's really good quality content, and I get a lot out of it personally.
Thank you.
But it's also maybe that's why you're having some success with it because there's a lot of people who don't succeed on YouTube as well. Like most people don't. It's not easy. So
No.
if you've got something that's really legitimate, it does, the cream rises to the top. And I think that's what's going on with you, brother. And I see there's so much potential with it. So I hope you keep going.
Thank you. I think I got a bit lucky too, being in Australia and not having anyone else really to compete with. Because that's another thing they say, like, no one else is doing this. This is so sick that you're doing this. It's like no one else, like there's a couple of people, but
Have you copped much tall poppy syndrome, like people trying to cut you down for it? 'Cause skaters can be so...
Yeah.
I don't know. So I feel like I did, but like I mentioned before, I've never really been in like any type of core industry of skateboarding in any way. Like I was never like a sponsored skater, or I was never representing anything, or like I was never like one of the main Sydney skaters where like part of this crew or something. Like I never had anything to go against, if that makes sense. Like I was never an outsider because like, not like I was a loner with no friends I was skating with, but like I never had any conflict like that. But I think I should say this to credit this to Sean. He copped more of the shit when he started doing his YouTube videos. He was like, whoa, they were like, what are you doing? This is weird. You're kooky, like filming yourself and doing all these videos. So when I came in and started doing it, he had already been doing it for a few years.
Yeah.
So at that point, he was comfortable. He didn't care about what those people were saying. And I kind of just breezed into it because people were used to that already. So I definitely have to credit that to him for like kind of, that's what I mean. He kind of set the path.
Break down the barriers.
Yeah, fully.
Sick.
Because I didn't really cop much anything, I don't think. I get like people talking in the comments, but nothing's ever serious.
Like who are some of the YouTubers you like to watch? Like for me personally, like I mean, YouTube is full of like thrasher clips. I
Yeah.
love watching Jenkin's articles.
Yeah.
Anything by Patrick O'Dell, epically lated
Yeah.
advice. What about you?
See, that's funny because when people are like, oh, YouTube skaters are cringy, all of these are on YouTube.
Totally.
Thrasher has a YouTube account. Thrasher has a TikTok account.
It's all
Like,
YouTube. Yeah.
obviously, it's different content to like the YouTubey,
Yeah.
like, yo, what's up, guys? I'm doing this type of stuff. Like, they're not YouTubers, but they're on YouTube.
They are.
But what was it? What do I watch? Yeah,
what do you
Natasha, Jenkum as well. I watch all the main like Free Skate Mag, like all of the.
Pocket Skate Mag.
yeah, Pocket's
I love
a good
what
one.
they do. They just like what you do. You know, you mic up,
Yeah, that's
skate
it.
and mic up. Like that's. I love how they do that.
But YouTubers, I was always watching John Hill. Have you heard of him? He's like
Yeah.
the number one like
He's
YouTube
he's
guy.
a really good skater.
He was like for Birdhouse, I
He
believe.
was so good.
Out of all the YouTube skaters, he was the only one that could have had like a career path in skateboarding.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's probably where I got
I
it from,
don't
to
know.
be honest. The yo, what's up? I'm
He
doing
got a
all
bit
this.
cringe. He got a bit cringy
Yeah,
for
that's-
me. I don't know why.
Yeah, he did.
But he was such a good skater.
I don't know if he ever wasn't. He just not to be rude or mean to him, but like
It's just him.
nah, that was a bit rough. But maybe
it's just him.
he's just I don't know. I think his personality perfectly suited YouTube and doing that stuff.
I'm like, Moose has got one.
Yeah,
Remember
he's
Moose?
sick. But like, I just found Ryan DeCenzo made a YouTube. He's making his own company, and they're
Mm.
doing like day in the life skate spots and stuff. Pedro Delfino has a YouTube channel where he's doing like vlogs and stuff too.
Yeah, I asked Ben Curry about this, what he thinks about it, and he said something like, you know, like there's people who are only ever YouTube, and then there's people who made their way in skating the traditional path and then went to YouTube, and then that's okay. But does it even matter anymore? That's my question. And
I think
and
it matters.
a lot of people are talking about this.
It matters for the audience and your fans, depending like if you're a aspiring pro skater and you don't make it and then you get a better deal doing YouTube stuff, like you've kind of gone around to get to that top position of exposure and all that.
Yeah.
It just depends how your fans respect that or and I think it's individual to each person. Like
Okay.
I think it's different for each person. I see what Ben's saying and you can agree with that to an extent too. But like I said, I was never there. Like Ben's obviously at a pro level. He has more perspective of that. I was never anywhere near that, so I can't really speak on that side. I've just started making YouTube videos as a skateboarder. Like I'd never really had a path or like I'm not doing this over that.
Yeah.
It's weird. I'm in a weird position.
I'm curious. I don't think it's good or bad. I just think it's the future, and that's
It is, yeah.
and we need to embrace it.
Yeah.
Like whether you're a hater or not, it's not going anywhere.
Yeah.
So anyway, well, it's been epic. A big
Yes.
shout out and thanks to Steve Tierney for letting us use his art space. Being surrounded by your
Oh,
beautiful
nice. It's
art,
been a
man.
good
It's so
legend.
sick. And
Catch up.
yeah, what a bunch of legends. So,
Pity it rained. We didn't get the skating.
I know.
no, dude.
I was keen.
Anyway, Mr. Leon Paxton, everyone.
Thank you.
Thanks, Steve.